watching CBS 2 News This Morning in high definition.
Welcome back to CBS 2 News Saturday morning. Well, Hillary Clinton captivated millions with her historic run for the White House. But who will be the first woman president of the United States? A new collection of essays may have the answer. It's called She's Out There, 35 Young Women Who Aspire to Lead the Next Generation of Presidential Candidates. Joining us this morning is editor Heather Ogilvie and one of the amazing young ladies who wrote an essay, 15-year-old Fiona Lowenstein. Welcome.
Thank you.
This book is so inspiring. I love it.
Great.
And, I was going to, you have 35 essays in here.
Yes.
From young ladies like Fiona. How did you come up with these women? Because you sent out 100,000?
100,000 calls for essays to women from the Girl Scouts, the College Republicans, the Young Democrats, and other women's organizations. And we received, in about 4 weeks' time, hundreds of essays. And from those hundreds, we selected the 35 that are in this book. And we chose them based on how passionate and serious the writers are about politics and making a difference in their communities, the unique paths they intend to take to reach the presidency, and how they link their personal experiences to their political ambitions.
Wow, I'm looking at all these wonderful pictures of these ladies who wrote this. Now, Fiona, you're on the cover.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And your essay is amazing. First of all, you've done so much. You're only 15 years old. You're a freshman at Hunter High School. And I mean, just one of the things you've done is you started to intern for Congressman Carolyn Maloney's office at 12 years old.
Yes. Well, when I was in 6th grade, I wrote a research paper on women in politics, and I reached out to Congresswoman Maloney. My school is in her district, to ask if I could interview her. She was very receptive. She told me to go down to Washington, D.C. and speak with her legislative director. We really hit it off. We had a great conversation, and when I was down there, her legislative director said, well, as soon as you're old enough to come down to D.C. by yourself, you should intern for us. And then that summer, I realized, well, maybe I could intern in the New York office. So I got in touch with her, and she put me directly in touch with someone for the New York office. And so my internship started, and I've been there ever since.
Wow. And Heather, talk about why it's so important for young women to get involved in politics. You have some very powerful statistics.
Well, women make up about 51% of the U.S. population, but less than 20% of Congress, state governors, and other elected officials. So with this book, we're hoping by showing these young women who want to be president someday, that they'll inspire other young women to get interested in politics, and eventually we'll get those numbers up and see more women on the national stage.
Fiona, do you have, you started, reading your essay was fantastic, by the way.
Thank you.
One of the things you talked about was at 6 years old, you joined a walkathon for cancer, and you raised $500. And can you give parents and young ladies some advice on how to get involved and what inspires you?
Well, I think it's so important for girls to see themselves as being able to lead, and I think that often girls my age don't realize that they are capable of leading. I've started a website, barbarasangels.com, dedicated to getting girls my age interested in politics, women's issues, and feminism. And if you go on, I have women that are interesting, who these girls can relate to. I have stories that if they knew about, they would probably be inspired by. And I think that the most important way to break this glass ceiling is to get informed and to realize that you are capable of leading. And that's what I think this book does as well.
Heather, any surprises from all the essays that you had come in on all these stories?
Oh, just that there were so many, and some of the paths that the women want to take. There's a 10-year-old girl out in California who wants to be an astronaut and then be president. She's a science whiz.
Wow.
So, yeah, they all have such unique stories, and I'm hoping that other young girls out there will be able to identify with them. Hey, she's like me. She believes the same things I do. So that's what we're hoping to accomplish.
Oh, very quickly, I just want to read the last line of your essay, Fiona, because I think it's so wonderful. Your last line said, as I said, I don't want to be the first woman president. No, I have higher hopes than that. I want to be part of a long line of female presidents who have led this country with pride. Thank you so much for sharing your stories. And this book is fantastic. I want to start reading it to my daughter. She's only 5. I was telling Mary, we got to get this. So thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.
The book is called She Is Out There, 35 Young Women Who Aspire to Lead the Nation. For more information, you can log on to our website, WCBSTV.com. Mary, back to you.
So impressive. Time now is 9:26. Talk.